Springen wir zum nächsten Spiel. Und zwar ist das Mishmash und da möchte ich den Doron begrüßen und der sitzt in Amsterdam. Wir sprechen gleich ein bisschen Englisch miteinander. Ich hoffe, ihr verzeiht uns das, aber so kommunizieren wir gleich. Deswegen werde ich zum Englisch switchen. Ihr könnt trotzdem auf Deutsch Fragen stellen. Ich werde die dann übersetzen on the fly, so gut ich das kann. Deswegen, hello and welcome, Doron.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm also fine. I'm good.
Fine.
And I'm curious about your game.
Yeah.
Because that's why you're here, Doron. You're from Quaqua Games, and you're sitting in Amsterdam right now, aren't you?
That is correct, yes.
And you're here for Mishmash, and we've seen a bit of it during the trailer before the Indie Game Fest, before we started. But how would you describe the game to someone who has never seen it? Because I don't know if people can really get everything the game has to offer from this screen.
Well, this screen is just a menu screen, obviously. But Mishmash is a collaborative drawing game. It's based actually on a very old traditional paper game called in French Cadavre Exquis, or in English they call it Exquisite Corpse. It's basically a paper game where you usually create a human character or a body, where the first player draws. Well, you take a piece of paper and you fold it into 3 parts, and then usually the first person draws the head and just folds the paper over the neckline. The next person draws the body, folds it again, and the last person draws the legs. Then you open it up and you get this strange connections between all the 3 players. So we took the same mechanic and we brought it to the digital world. So we have now an infinite canvas, which theoretically infinite players. Mm-hmm. And we can also add animations or small animations to the drawing, which give it some life. And the most cool thing is that you can play online with anybody in the world. So
and that's what we're going to do. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So the goal is to collaborate with your friends and draw on a big canvas to get a piece of art we've never seen before. And that's what Maci is going to do now.
Yes.
You can start drawing.
Okay.
Genau. Ich würde es einmal ganz kurz für die deutschsprachigen Zuschauer übersetzen. Also der Ursprung des Spiels ist in einem analogen Spiel mit echten Stiften und Papier. Und die Idee ist, dass man hier im Grunde ein gemeinsames Kunstwerk entwirft online, was sehr cool ist. Und man kann sogar kleine Animationen einbauen. Da bin ich sehr, sehr gespannt, wie das aussehen wird.
Yeah. And now Maci is going to start a online play. Create new drawing.
Okay.
Exactly. And now you can choose how many turns you wanna draw, and you can choose if you wanna draw in color or with chalk. What is your go-to? What are you drawing preferably?
It's up to Maci what he likes. Colors,
Color. Clear.
Okay. And how many turns should we do? Because you're playing with Stefan now. Stefan is waiting for you.
Yes, maybe 4 is good.
4?
But
okay.
Yeah, if you want to do 9, I don't know how fast Maci draws and how fast Stefan draws.
I'm a quick drawer.
Yeah. Okay, so
let's try 4 turns because we've got something else for the viewers at home.
Oh, okay.
In the middle of the slot, I think we will offer one of you, the chance to draw with us. Einmal für die deutschen Zuschauer gerade. Wir werden einem von euch die Chance geben, mit uns zu malen. Wenn Maci gleich mit Stefan fertig ist mit dem Malen, dann werden wir euch einen Link geben oder im Raffle geben und ja, wie das gleich funktioniert, werde ich ja nochmal sagen. Aber wir werden auf jeden Fall die Möglichkeit geben, mitzumachen. Ich hatte es gerade Raffle im Kopf, wir machen was anderes, aber wir machen nämlich Folgendes. Ihr schreibt uns, wenn ihr Interesse habt, mitzumachen. Schreibt uns auf Twitch, NerdStar TV, wenn ihr Interesse habt, hier ein Bild zu vollenden. Wir haben nämlich eins vorbereitet, das werden wir später anfangen. Und dann könnt ihr die 9. Ecke malen und dann werden wir zeigen, was daraus geworden ist. Also, wer Lust hat zu malen, der schreibt uns doch bitte an und dann können wir daraus was Gemeinsames, Cooles machen. Und jetzt switche ich wieder zu Englisch für das Interview. Doron, can you draw?
Can I draw? Well, funny enough, well, since I started working on this game, I probably improved a bit my drawing skills, but it was never my forte to draw. Nevertheless, I really like working with the public. My background was in interactive installation and working with artworks that allow the public to manipulate the work of art.
Yeah.
So this is my real interest with this kind of games, is that they allow the players to have a lot of freedom and, well, total freedom almost in influencing the finished artwork. And for me, what's the fascination is that each time it's a total new result and total new outcome. Like you'll never get the same drawing again, which I think is really cool.
Of course, yeah. And what's the biggest drawing you can do? How many players can, at the moment, play the game at once?
At the moment, our biggest canvas is 49 players. So yeah, that's the biggest one.
Yeah.
And the smallest is 4. We hope to get bigger. It's of course a matter of processing power and server power and things like that. I think technically it's all possible. It's just a question of if you have a phone, it's how old is the phone, or if you have a supercomputer, then of course, yeah, it's not a problem. But yeah.
Yeah, we should talk about that, because the game is playable in browser and on mobile.
Yeah. Yes,
yeah, so,
and also theoretically on PC or download the game and play it as well on your computer.
So it's really easy to try it out. Yeah.
At the moment, yeah. I mean, the browser is of course the fastest. It's just a link and you're just in the game. Mobile, we don't have an official build out, but if you want, we can send you a test flight or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still very much in beta.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the game is in beta, but we are interested in users or beta testers. So if people want to join our Discord, I'll be very happy.
Yeah.
As well.
That's what I wanted to tell the viewers about, because I'm switching to German for a moment. Wenn ihr das Spiel mal ausprobieren wollt, könnt ihr Ausrufezeichen Mischmasch in den Chat eingeben, dem Discord joinen von den guten Leuten, und dann könnt ihr das Spiel ausprobieren.
Oh mein Gott.
Und mit jedem spielen, mit dem ihr wollt. Das heißt, ihr bekommt Beta-Zugang, wenn ihr auf den Discord joint. Ausrufezeichen Mischmasch. Da ist es möglich. Und sie freuen sich über Tester, wie gesagt. Da könnt ihr auch dann, wenn euch irgendwas auffällt, Feedback geben. Das ist da alles möglich. Also arbeitet doch vielleicht mit denen einfach zusammen und sagt denen ein bisschen was. Maci is drawing our new Maskottchen, our new channel robot, our little Bob. And let's see what Stefan is doing after that, because I think Maci will be finished soon with his part of the drawing. Yeah. And then Stefan can go on drawing, and we'll see where that goes. I don't know yet. But Doron, because you just said you're looking for beta testers, how are you testing the game exactly right now? Are there any partners you're working with? What's going on with testing?
So we have our Discord community, which is our main test group. We have other friends or families that are helping us with. We're testing different age groups, of course. We think it's mostly a family game, but of course, people who like to draw from all ages can enjoy this. We even tested it in places like a nursing home with older people, and surprisingly, they really liked it as well. So it's a wide range of audience, but of course, we're trying to find this sweet spot where it's not only for kids, while adults can still enjoy the drawing tools and not think, oh, these drawing tools are so, let's say, mediocre. So if you're like a professional artist, that you could still enjoy it as well.
Like me.
Like you.
Like you, yeah, you're yes.
You're not that bad. You're better than I expected you to be.
Yeah, so. Okay.
But we don't have, like, at the moment any, well, we just do interviews or surveys after we talk to the people. It's a very personal testing. We don't have like a big machine operating behind this with, well, we try to look at some data, like how long people play in general, what they enjoyed, well, we know mostly what people want as features, what they're missing. But yeah, this game is very slowly been developed. So we kind of tested as well every step of the way while we were developing it. So that's how it is. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting that you're working with people of all ages to make a game that everyone will enjoy. Maci is finishing his part of the picture right now.
Oh, nein.
And continue. Yeah.
And this one.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
This one. Okay.
Click on that one.
This one. Yes. This one. Yes.
I'm finished.
Now you're finished.
Finished.
Ta-da! And now tap to continue.
Okay.
And click nochmal. And now that code is very important for Stefan.
Which one? This one?
Yeah. Stefan now needs to put this code into his browser, and then he can continue the drawing, and then it's your turn again, and you'll continue the drawing amongst yourselves, and after that we will do the Viewer Interaction. Also wenn ihr zu Hause mitmachen wollt, wenn ihr ein Bild vollenden wollt mit uns, was schon angefangen wurde, dann schreibt gerne NerdStar TV, wenn ihr das machen wollt. Einer von den Glücklichen wird ausgewählt.
Eine Twitch-PN.
Eine Twitch-PN gerne. Und dann könnt ihr das letzte Bild vollenden und wir können uns angucken, was ihr gemalt habt, was wir gemalt haben und was daraus geworden ist. But to move on, mein Wecker klingelt. So you're testing with all age groups, Dora.
Why?
And what is the main audience of the game gonna be? Because I expected originally that the game is meant for artists, but you said it's not only for artists and for talented drawers. It is for everyone. It is for casual gamers. Is it for esport pros? Which people can enjoy the game?
Well, esport pros probably. Well, who knows? But I would say probably not. They would be probably wanting something a lot more action based. So this is a very relaxed game. There's no competition and there's no failure or success scenario. I mean, you could say there's a failure or success scenario with how satisfied you are with your own connection to the drawing and things like that. But I think from our current conclusion is families is kind of the main target. Also during COVID now, we had a lot of families enjoy that they could make a drawing with their family members, overseas or even in the same city, which they can't visit one another. So at least, or for example, a grandma can draw with her grandchild. Well, their grandchild maybe can't even read yet. So so again, I go back to the old people. Not that it's something that is our focus of ours, but older people find it really nice that they can actually use this technology without feeling intimidated or that they can break it or the buttons are big and things like that. So, but families, I know it's kind of a very, very wide audience. But artists, indeed, you've got a lot of artists that don't like sharing so much their work. We've figured that one out.
I see. Yeah.
Some artists are very protective of their style or I can understand it's their art, and this idea of collective art maybe doesn't really fit with their perception of what art is or their own originality or whatever that is that they don't want to let somebody else in there. But on the other hand, we know other artists that really enjoy this idea of just mixing styles and the surprise, and it's also for them maybe a creative tool to just keep themselves sharp with, they're getting a canvas that's not entirely blank, but also it's a very good creative imagination tool. And this is something we also really want to think about and more in the context maybe of schools. So how can a teacher use this as an educational tool? So perhaps, let's say there's a theme in the class that's going to be taught, and the teacher can, before the theme is taught, give the kids, so what do you know about the subject already? And then all the kids make a drawing together about that.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the subject, they can do another drawing, and then they can compare, like, wow, we learned so much about, I don't know, outer space or gravity or whatever they're teaching these days at schools. So
I see.
Yeah. So I think, and we even had one time a person that works with people with brain damage, and he thought, oh, this could be a great game for them because they can even try to imagine or even work on their memory. So that's the main what can I say? So, but in general, it's anybody who likes to draw, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many opportunities one can use to live out his creativity with this game. It's really awesome that you can play this. What originally started as a paper game, like you said, that you could only play local co-op with. Now you can play online, digitally, and Maci will continue to play online digitally.
Hopefully.
But how will he join again?
Yeah.
So does he need to enter the code again, or does he need to go to his drawings?
Okay, so Maci is going to continue his own drawing?
Yeah.
Because Stefan is not joining?
No.
I can give him another...
Stefan did.
Stefan did draw, and now it's Maci's turn again.
Oh, he finished already? Wow,
Yeah.
he's fast, Stefan.
So you're going to my drawings?
Actually, you can go to my drawings. Yeah, you can go there. And you see we've got a little notification that something happened there.
Now,
yes, and then you do continue. Yes. Now, what he's doing now is kind of strange because he knows, usually it's 4 different players, right? So imagine you don't know, but at least you've got some orange part, right? So that's, well, you can still play on this.
Okay.
Yes, you see, but one part is yours, obviously.
Yeah.
And now we see the game in action again, and now we see all the tools you have at your disposal in action again. How many tools, how many options are in the game yet, and how many will you still add to the game that players can have fun with?
We want to keep it quite simple. So we might add more brush styles or sizes, I think. We had ideas, for example, we want to have a fill brush. So we cannot have a fill bucket. So a fill bucket is something a lot of players want right now.
Yeah, I see.
But the problem with how the canvas is, if you have the normal bucket thing, it might just spill all over the canvas. So you don't want to do that. So you're trying to make a brush that you make a close shape, and then it will fill that color in. So that's one thing we're working on now. We have other game modes ideas, actually, which...
What are those?
I can tell one that I really want to do. It's called the Topsy-Turvy. So imagine the canvas flips 180 each turn. So the drawing you're getting is also flipped upside down.
I see, yeah.
And my daughter, she also likes, I don't know if you know, I don't know what this is called, actually. You get this black paper, and when you scratch it, there's like all these colors behind it.
Yeah.
Like this glitter. So it's like this. So we could do a similar mode as well. So you're kind of revealing the colors under. It's more like a scratch mode. But we have other ideas up our sleeves. Maybe I should keep them as a surprise as well.
Well, keep them as a surprise because players want to be surprised. But I imagine many ideas also come from fans, from testers that already play the game.
Sure. I mean, we're trying to do our best to really, develop this as well with our community. And we're trying to find what is that they want. So, for example, some parent had the idea, why don't you just make a game mode like single player where you have only half the canvas and you just each time fill that one part, right? So. Especially for little kids, and that could even be like each time like a fun thing for them. So maybe it's pretty obviously a cow, but actually when you finish the cow, it's a Dalmatian or something else, right? So you get this funny reaction, or so of course there's many options of how we can expand this, but as far as features go, I think we want to keep it very simple. We could add brushes that change colors while you're drawing or stuff like that. But on the other hand, I really want to keep it simple and that the users also will be creative of how they use the minimal tools, right? I think there's a lot of creativity there as well.
Talking about creative users, Maci is really creative.
About me.
But talking about the really creative users, have you ever been surprised by something someone drew, or have you been surprised by the usage of a tool that someone used in a particular way that you didn't expect?
Sure. I think people use the eraser in very creative ways. Especially in the beginning, we didn't have so many brush sizes, so they use the eraser to kind of make a really thin line, for example. So if they had the thick line. Of course, with the stamps, like now we had people very meticulously doing things with the stamps, arranging them in funny ways.
Yeah.
I think there's somebody at my door, which is a bit weird, but
just let him wait outside.
Yes. I think it's maybe a package or something. Wow, this is more important. And of course, what people draw is the most surprising stuff. Yes.
It looks kind of cool right now. You can send Stefan the code again.
Yeah.
And he can finish the drawing. So
tap to continue, right?
Yeah, tap to continue.
Tap to continue.
And now he can join the game again.
It's the same code, so that's the idea.
Okay.
So once you, I mean, yes, we're doing a bit of a weird case scenario where you're two players. For two players, actually, we also want to make a scroll mode, so you can actually play with two players. So it's not like you're continuing your own drawing.
Oh, so you can you go horizontally.
So it'll be like a scroll. So right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left.
Okay.
The only tricky part there, of course, is the screen in our devices is not a scroll. So, you will have some black bars probably, or you'll have to zoom in or something. But yeah, there's always some trick around. But in that regard, it's more the traditional game of going in one direction from right to left, or left to right, or up to down. Yeah.
So you were just talking about before Maci finished his beautiful work.
Yeah, thanks.
You were talking about situations where you were surprised by the usage of the tools, and you were talking about chalk using the white being used on a black canvas. Or what were you talking about?
So in the beginning, well, also that people before we had chalk mode. Well, actually, also a bit like Maci did. You know, they make the entire background and then they erase it or use a different color to kind of do a negative image.
Yeah.
But also to kind of get brush size. If you want really thin lines, they use the eraser to kind of erase a thicker line than what exists in the game.
Okay.
So if you want a really thin. But again, I think the most creative part is actually also we had some players, especially in events, it's interesting. So they want to draw something of their own and they kind of figure out the pattern of the expansion pattern. And then they queue up in the line in such a, and so they know which turn they're going to be, so they can draw something together.
Oh,
so that I thought
okay.
was, yeah. And we had even some people draw nasty stuff like that. So they were really into it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask next, because like we discussed for some time now, Mishmash is all about user-generated content. So every player can draw, and you can't control the players, and you can't control their hands, you can't control what they are drawing. So one question is, how many genitalia have been drawn in your history of testing the game?
So this is a question that we get a lot. Surprisingly, for the amount of drawings made already in the game, which I think we're surpassed the 1,000 drawings now. So far, not that many. But I think this is also mostly because, well, one, our community is very friendly and nice, and two, in live events, you're a bit exposed, right?
Yeah.
But we had events like Amaze where people were very shameless, of course, because Amaze is a bit notorious for that. But I'm personally more worried about more like racial slander or really violent or horrific content than if somebody draws genitalia. I think genitalia, well, it can be very offensive, but it can also just be cute. I mean, we had a 5-year-old girl draw a unicorn and add a little something between the legs, which was probably a genitalia, but it was cute, yeah. And it was just one more horn, So okay, dewy corn. So yeah. So I think in art, of course, nudity and things like that is common. Like you go to any museum in Europe and you can see nudity, and it's fine. I think it's more the question of well, we only have to monitor public games. That's one thing. We're gonna have to implement a flagging system for offensive content.
Yeah, are you worried about the amount of work you have to put into this because of your user-generated content? Because I imagine that'll be a lot of work once you release the game.
Yes. So, well, one plan is to hopefully get people from our community that are very dedicated to the game and maybe want some perks or extra features, or even volunteer. Or if we have money, we can actually pay them a bit to do that. To do that. Again, I think a lot of people will opt out to play local or private games, right? Mm-hmm. So on those drawings, we don't need to monitor them unless they want to put them in the public gallery, and then at least we have time to view them, right?
Yeah.
But the public game will also have to have a very good, terms of service, and if somebody flags something as inappropriate, we'll have to look at it. We talked to some people that they claim they might have some artificial intelligence tools that could help with this process of filtering, but I think users as well in that regard can be very creative in drawing something that could be something, but could be not. Is it a banana, or is it a sword, or is it an Eiffel Tower, or it's a rocket? Is it
someone else? Yeah.
Yeah, and again, it's fine. I think parents should be aware if their kids are playing public games that they might be exposed to some drawing. But again, it's a drawing, right? I mean, it's not like a realistic image. And then again, I'm more concerned if like symbols that are offensive, or somebody breaking GDPR rules, like putting public information of somebody, like their bank account or their address with telephone or something like that. But yeah, user-generated content is all platforms have this problem. The main problem we have is we don't have the money these other platforms usually have to actually pay moderators day in, day out.
Yeah, are there many indie developers that use user-generated content? Do you have some examples? Because I don't.
Yeah, I think maybe perhaps part of the reason is because maybe it's a lot of risk or work that could come across with that kind of user-generated content things. But even games like Mario Maker, people can make levels with symbols or stuff hidden in there, right? Minecraft as well. I'm sure they get a lot of interesting landscapes with shapes and sizes. Oh, look, it's done. Yay.
Oh, it's done, yeah. So that's the finished piece of art.
Is it possible to print the picture in the end?
Yes. Well, the easiest way for you guys now is just to take a screenshot. But of course, we even can retrace the entire drawing process, which is cool. So we can make nice GIFs and animations from that. Yeah. So on the WebGL at the moment, the sharing is still not working. But again, the easiest way would just be to take a screen recording if you want the animation, or just a screenshot. Yeah.
What I want to do now, but what I want to do now, Maci, please hit on home.
Yes.
Hit the home button. And then click on OK, click on Start Drawing, click on Online Play, click on Join with Code, and then enter the code I gave you before the session. So you can join an already existing painting.
Oh my goodness.
That we are going to continue, and one of you viewers at home can finish, and then we can see what you drew. And we will judge it. I think you made a typo there. You made a small mistake. The T. What's going to go away?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Try that. Try to join. I think you're joining. Oh, because that's
Yes, usually.
yeah.
Uh-oh, freeze.
Okay.
Oh, there. There
Oh,
we have
here we
it.
go. Wow.
Oh.
Oh, somebody made some serious work here.
Yeah. And now, Maci, you can fuck it all up.
Yeah.
So try to not
do you
take
have
too
ideas?
long. Try to not take too long because one viewer also has to finish
Okay.
it.
Any ideas?
You can.
Oh
I don't know. But it looks
beautiful.
It looks beautiful. And now it's up to you.
Oh no. Okay.
You can make her a snake tongue.
Yeah, you can make her a snake tongue. You can.
Another idea?
Or
Another. Do we have a backup plan? While Maci is doing his best to not fuck up the painting, Doron, I have one more question because we talked about the risks of user-generated content. But yeah, what are the benefits you see? I mean, of course, it's the creativity we can show with the game here. But is it worth the risk? I think it is, isn't it?
Well, it's up to you to judge. For me, it is worth it because I really do enjoy seeing what people make with my game. It's very satisfying and exciting, and it just it's I think also the reward is in letting the players that are playing your game really be part of your game in a much higher level, right? So it's not like they're playing the same level over and over again.
Yeah.
Like a platform game and they can be a lot more involved in the entire process as well of development of the game because you have a lot more input of how it will be shaped and designed. And I think as well that regard, for building an organic community with your game from an early stage on, that can really benefit with something that has some user-generated content integrated into the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's worth it. But of course, it's not it. Yeah, you have to think, of course, which game can fit it, and
I think you found the perfect way. Yeah, you found the perfect game to fit it. Because
yes.
I'm really curious about where this will go concerning Maci's picture and the game. I want to remember the viewers that I will switch to German for that. Ich will euch daran erinnern, dass immer noch, wenn ihr Ausrufezeichen Mishmash eingebt, Mish mit SH und Mash mit SH, Ausrufezeichen Mishmash, vielleicht kann es die Regie auch kurz machen, dann könnt ihr dem Discord joinen von Quaqua Games und könnt da Beta Zugang bekommen, um das Spiel eben auch einfach zu spielen und ein bisschen auszuprobieren. So the viewers can become testers very easily by joining your Discord server, and they can help you develop the game, give you feedback. And the question I have is, how many of those testers are actually artists and are talented, and how many are just curious about the game? So where's the percentage there?
Wow, it's tricky. I have to judge who's an artist now. It's not fair. So I would say it's around probably 30 or 40% at the moment on our Discord. People with some talent for drawing, and maybe the rest. I mean, we have some really professional 2D artists, for example, or illustrators on the Discord. But, a lot of people are they just enjoy drawing or doodling, and they're not like, they don't do it on a professional level. And to be honest, the people who do it professionally, also at some point they're tired, right? So they draw all day, and they kind of it's like it's their job. So at some point they don't want to draw anymore. So I think it's more for the it's mixed. So I cannot really for sure tell you a exact percentage of that.
Ich kann nicht mehr.
But for sure, I think anybody on our Discord, either they have interest in the game for just wanting to see where it goes. But most players, they joined because they like drawing to some extent. Otherwise,
Yeah, and talking about the future of the game and where it's going, how far into development are you right now? So how far away is still in front of you? And when would you say can people officially play publicly?
I'm so sorry.
I think our current plan is to really try to we're still looking for a partner, financial backing to actually be able to do a global release on a good level and bring the game to one more level of polish. That would be great. If we don't manage to do that, we'll self-publish. And I think the best way is then to target existing communities as a first step. And things like schools or cultural institutes, museums, basically any existing community that might want to do something with this. And we could work with them together as well to shape how they would want to use it, right? So if or even a place like a hospital, they want to use it, and in some ways, because I don't know, the kids can't because they need to live in a bubble, and at least this way they can get messages from their friends. That could be one very specific implementation of the game, but we could still shape it towards that purpose. So we're doing what we can with our small resources as indies, but I think ideally, maybe this is very naive, because it's such a community-oriented game. We want to try to grow as much as we can the audience on an organic way, and maybe we should also do that with the monetization model, where when you buy the game, you can get maybe X amount of free keys for your friends, right?
Yeah.
So that is something we want to. Oh, it's loading. It's loading.
Now it's loading. Now we see everything that has been drawn on the pictures up until now, and that's how it can look if you're really into it and investing some time into it.
Wow.
I love the animation.
With the streaming now, I think it's a bit slow, but it's cool.
And you see the drawing process. Some.
Where's my cat?
Yeah. The cat will.
It's coming.
Okay.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
My beautiful cat.
Oh, while Knothorn appears.
Wow, wie? How?
Yeah, there are some really good and talented artists out there that did this for us. And at the end, your picture will appear. But let's see where this is going. And let's see if a viewer can finish the whole thing. But we're not. We don't have much time left, so let's see.
Wow, we can also let the code have in the. No, it's really cute, your cat.
Yeah,
I approve. Yeah.
The cat is really cute.
Yes.
Which one did Maci drew from these? I can't really tell, to be honest.
Tap to continue. Then we get the code.
Yeah. You get the code again.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now
for the chat,
one viewer that already joined the Discord can potentially finish the drawing. Let's see.
Yeah.
But time is running.
Let's see what you'll draw. Time is running. We only have 3 to 4 minutes left. But
we can also show it at the end of the festival.
We could show it at the end of the festival. Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah.
What I'd like to show, with the time we have left, is also what people can draw that actually can draw. If you would click on quit, please.
Yes.
And if you, I'll just click escape for a moment. Go to our go to here. Go to Chrome, please.
Yes.
Go to full screen here.
Yes.
I want to show the gameplay trailer we
Yes.
have right here, because then we can see.
It's very old, huh?
It's kind of old, but we can see.
Yeah.
We've seen the new version now, but we can see
Yes.
what actually can happen if you play the game and how it can look if you play it with more people. And I think you can do really cool things with this, with what's already in there. It's an older UI, I see.
Yes,
I think
it's ancient, but it's also very nice to see how we evolved.
Yeah.
So see here, we only had one brush size, and our colors were very basic. Yeah, so a lot has changed since this.
but
The
what
basic
you can
mechanic is the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and what you already could have done with that version. How far is this version in history?
Oof, it's just probably 2000. I would say middle of 2018.
Oh,
Yeah, somewhere there. Yeah. This has been a very long process.
how long are you developing the game up until now?
So I think since September 2017, we really started playing around with it. It started to gain a bit more momentum middle of 2018. Then we had some adventures with the financial investor people type of things out of our energy, and that kind of also froze our development for a while. And then we started again 2019. So yeah, it's been a long journey.
Yeah.
Also, that's kind of the
right.
reality of we're a small team, and we all have to do part projects to survive. It's a purely rev share project, so that's how it is. That's the way we roll.
Yeah, that's the way you roll, and that's the way you roll. Hopefully, successfully with the
I
game,
hope so.
because I really want you to finish this and to get it out as soon as possible, so everyone can have fun with it and have a go at it, because it's really, really much fun, isn't it, Maci?
Yes.
Have you had fun?
like my cat. He's very angry.
So there are endless possibilities. There's much to come. There's much we can look forward to, and there's much we can look forward to the end of the stream, because then one viewer will have filled out the top left corner, which is left, and then we can see what has become of this beautiful, partly beautiful piece of art.